For years, busking on the tube was illegal because unsupervised performers posed safety problems. Musicians were regularly moved on and could be fined up to £200.
Stay away, please. If you don't come back, I won't have to come back for you. So all you gotta do is to stay away. No, just stay away, please. Please give us a break.
But surveys of tube customers showed that 80% wanted to hear good music as they travelled on the underground network. So LU supported bylaw changes and devised a scheme to allow buskers to perform legally at stations. For the first time ever, buskers have been able to entertain commuters without having to play a cat-and-mouse game with underground staff or the police. It's May, and at Canary Wharf, the first stage of a 4-month busking trial scheme is about to get underway. In true pop idol style, buskers have been invited to audition for their licences. The scheme is being sponsored by a drinks company and run by Pamela Stevenson Promotions and Automatic Management. Bob Morris is overseeing the auditions.
What we've always planned is to bring in fresh new talent. People that have thought in the past it was unsafe to busk because of, getting moved on, getting arrested.
Nettie Rhodes is just the kind of person LU is after.
I'm a recorder player, and I believe that it's possible to play any kind of music at all on a recorder, practically. For which reason I'm basically busking, because I want to be able to tell the world that. So if I'm standing on a street corner playing music, then people are hearing the recorder played reasonably well. There are people who play it a lot better than me, but I'm a bit higher than primary school level.
"45-year-old John Fitter is a professional busker.
I shouldn't be nervous. But then you think to yourself, well, I've been busking for 15 years. If I fail, I'm going to think to myself, oh, gosh, I'm not quite as good as I first thought, or first hoped I'd be. And also, what else? How am I going to earn a living now? It means I'll have to go back to regular employment.
Musicians Sarah and Michael see busking as a way to get some practice in.
We just want to be heard, really, and also it's like a rehearsal as well. It's sort of hopefully a bit of a paid rehearsal. Instead of just practicing indoors, we can, play outside and get heard.
Stephen Heath learnt to play the didgeridoo on his mum's Hoover tube, but can he earn a living from it?
I really don't know, to be honest. I've never really busked for a long period of time to know whether I can live off it. It's more of a, it's a hobby, really, and I love it. I really enjoy it.
The auditions have attracted a mixture of novices and experienced buskers. Martin Penny is overseeing the project for LU and has been working to get a licensed busking scheme off the ground for several years.
it's a very emotive project because there's been a history of conflict between the staff and buskers, because we have obviously, it's been a legal practice and we have sort of chased them out in the past.
Just take a seat down there.
There's a culture of you know, removing musicians from the underground, which it's been difficult for me to try and sort of break.
If it works out, it could be all right, yeah. Just leave me alone, it'll be fine, man, you know. It'll be good, it'll be an experience.
As an illegal busker, Errol Linton has outstanding fines of over £600.
Sometimes you are made to feel, you know, like you're suffering at the bottom of someone's shoe, you know what I mean? Even though you just played a bit of music, you know.
Alison Gavin has never performed in public before.
I feel incredibly nervous about this audition, actually. I have only auditioned once before for a band and they didn't like me. So, yes, it makes me very nervous.
Lovely. Got us a couple, didn't you, love? Slip on the strings.
For a moment, Bob's feeling a bit Simon Cowell.
Where did you learn to play?
At school.
Oh, right, OK, yeah. What, was your teacher deaf, or...? Oh, I was only joking. I was only joking. And what's your repertoire? I mean, how many songs can you play? How many songs?
Well, I mean, I've been playing since I was 9, so...
Right. Well, you couldn't play that one, could you?
Auditions are over for the day. John has a few reservations about the scheme.
My biggest worry is that with this new system, maybe people think, oh, the buskers, they're licensed, there's sponsorship, they're doing all right, and maybe I'll get less money.
Stephen's main concern is his performance.
I did feel nervous in the end, and my mouth just totally dried up and I couldn't get anything out. So I kept on, like, going silent. And I had to keep, like, stopping and starting, so... But I don't know whether they know what didgeridoo sounds like to know that I did that, really.
LU has designated 12 stations for legalised busking. Musicians can book a 2-hour slot on one of 25 pitches. John has been licensed and is at Piccadilly Circus. He's busked on the underground almost every day for the last 15 years. This evening is no exception, although for once he won't be breaking the law.
I've got to have that on so that the staff and the police know who's an official busker who's supposed to be there and who's sort of not supposed to be there and who's trying to take a picture away from a legal busker. So, so I see this as my friend.
Nettie also has a licence and is at Leicester Square to busk her first 2-hour session.
I'm a busker.
You're a busker?
Yeah. Thank you. Whereabouts on the Northern Line is it?
You'll see it. There's a pitch on the floor for you.
Oh, it's all marked out?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful.
All right. You're on stage.
I didn't realise that. Yeah.
You're on stage there.
Oh, how marvellous. Oh, excellent. Thank you. No Take care. I wonder if they're busking people.
It looks as though Nettie's pitch is already taken.
Hello. Are you related to the busking scheme at all? Are you related to the busking scheme at all?
No, not at all.
Oh, right. I think that's my pitch. It's all right, that's fine. Thank you.
Is it pitch 1, is it?
Stephen's pitch is at South Kensington, a tourist honeypot.
6 to 8. So I'm not sure about that, you know what I mean? I'm not sure if that's enough time. But I suppose you don't know until you've tried it out, really. So you've got to do that. Aha. Right.
Opera singer Angelina Kalahari auditioned at Canary Wharf weeks ago, and now she's back to busk. One problem all buskers face is encouraging the public to part with their cash. Nettie's experience of busking at Covent Garden Market could prove invaluable.
if I need any start-up money, some start. You put a couple of pounds into your collecting box or hat before you start, and it's a psychological trick because if people walk past and they think that you've no money in your hat, then they might think that you're no good. Instead of making their own judgment, they kind of decide that you're no good because you've got no money so far, so they don't put anything in. However, if you let your hat overflow with too much money, the opposite can happen. And people think, oh, she's got loads of money, so I won't bother putting it in. And what you want is that happy balance in the middle between, oh, she's good, and, oh, she's got loads of money already.
It's my idea is to encourage people to put that denomination in. It doesn't work. Not always, but sometimes it does. A lot of the time it does. Because they see that and they think, oh, that's what everyone else gives. It's psychological, I suppose. Well, I'm hoping it is anyway.
Experienced busker John has to make £11 a day to survive. Will being licensed affect his earnings? And how will Tube customers react to the newcomers' performances? The busking trial on the Tube has been running for 2 weeks, and licensed buskers are performing at stations across the network. Stephen's at South Kensington. It's not busy, but he's still attracting attention.
That's fantastic.
Thank you very much. Cheers. Thanks very much. Take care. Thanks. Cheers.
It's the rhythms. It was the sound as we were coming out of up there. We could hear this. We thought there's a very clever man down there doing something with a didgeridoo. No, I know it's a didgeridoo, and his rhythms were fantastic. You know, he's coming out of there like this. You could feel it like a pulse. You can see he's got an ID, and it's good quality. It's not near rubbish. It's actually something new. It's teaching me something from Australia, even though it's in Portsmouth. There's a link. There must be a link. How does a boy from Portsmouth learn how to play didgeridoo? I don't know. He's a very interesting man.
At Piccadilly, one Tube customer is surprised that John chooses to busk for a living.
Yeah. Are you really doing that for a cross?
Yeah, absolutely.
What?
Yeah.
How did this turn out? How are you doing it for a cross?
It's a lovely way to earn a living. It's an unusual circumstance that got me busking, but once I got busking, I realised that I can have a nice, easy life. When I say nice, easy life, I can do what I like during the day, as long as it doesn't cost a lot of money. And I like the simple life. And I see people walking by. I'm sure there's people walking by in suits with suitcases. They earn heaps more money than me, but are they any happier? I think happiness is probably the most important thing in life.
It's incredible. Yeah. I find it absolutely amazing. And then with skill.
Yeah?
With skill. Hey, hat off to you.
Thank you very much indeed, yeah.
Intoxicating aroma.
For Sarah and Michael, things are a little slow. Nettie has a couple of young fans at Leicester Square. And at Canary Wharf, the money's really rolling in for Angelina.
I think they appreciate her, you know what I mean? You can see. Put it this way, there's more money gone in there than I've seen in a couple of weeks down here.
Wow. Well, I'll definitely come back here. This was fun. I think there's a bit in there today. Don't you reckon?
4.20.
Nettie is comparing her takings to what she makes at Covent Garden Market.
9.32. It's about right. It's about right for an hour. Is it an hour? £10 an hour? It's okay. It's about right.
But not everyone's doing quite so well.
I must say, we were hoping to make at least enough to buy a couple of pints afterwards, but I think we're going to have to dip into our own funds by the looks of it to do that now, which is a bit disappointing, but that's It's been good fun, actually. You can definitely feel yourself loosening up as you go along and getting into it, you know, so it's good for confidence and, yeah, you know, I enjoyed it. It's good.
I've made about £8, I would say. £8. That's about an average sort of pitch. I would get normally between, per hour, one there, between about anything between £4 and £12 an hour, and anything in there I'm very happy with. It's probably closer to 4 more often than it's closer to 12, unfortunately, but if I improve, you never know, I might start earning more, so get some more tunes. So, oh gosh, you know, I always have a good look round. You never know. Sometimes throw something and it bounces. Right, good.
John still has time to boost his earnings with 2 more hours of busking at Piccadilly's other pitch.
Automatic. Hello, automatic.
At the automatic office, phone lines have just opened and licensed buskers are calling in to book pitches at their preferred stations. Jerry Smith is in charge.
I think in general, Piccadilly Circus, Oxford Circus and Leicester Square are the 3 really favoured places.
Bank, Bond Street, Canary Wharf, Green Park, Leicester Square, London Bridge.
We've now had 422 applications and we have approved 285 licences.
8 p.m, yeah?
We have 1,200 slots a week to fill. So it's 1,200 musicians playing 1,200 sessions a week. So it's quite a lot. Yeah. Automatic.
Stephen has booked himself an evening slot at one of the West End's busiest stations, Piccadilly Circus. It seems to be paying off. At Westminster, John isn't so lucky.
Maybe I should learn Silence is Golden. I get the impression I might be wasting my time here. I don't think I'm going to get much more than 11p, so I think I'll do the sensible thing and try and look for a busier place to play.
Back at Piccadilly Circus, Stephen's having to carry out some emergency repairs.
Where it's really hot and humid and close down here, the wood's expanding and I've got some cracks in there already. And the didge, to get really, really fast rhythms, it relies on quite a powerful back pressure. And whenever it cracks, it's constantly opening up all the time and it just makes the sound drop, so you can't really get very fast rhythms. The Aborigines, they used to, before they played, because it was so dry, and it was really hard to get the thing fired up. You'd have to soak it in water to absorb all the water, then it would clog all the pores up, and then it would play really, really crisp. So sometimes when I play, just pour loads of water down it, and then so it does the same thing, block all the pores up.
The busking trial has been running smoothly for 10 weeks, and Martin Penny is looking to expand the scheme to new stations. He's at King's Cross, consulting with station manager Andrew Anthony and licensed busker Dimitri van Zwanenberg.
There's been a slight overspill of illegal buskers from other stations that have now been licensed to King's Cross. So, going on the benefits and success of the trial in certain stations like Oxford Circus, it seems the right thing to do to consider licensing King's Cross now.
If you get a good busker, obviously people want to stand and watch and listen and hear, and that would be no good on the bottom of an escalator. Indeed, there's quite a few pinch points at a place like King's Cross. It's not that spacious, basically. So we just need to pick the right spots. We're looking at something away from those sort of pinch points, but just right for the busker. So it's good that Dimitri today, for instance, we're going through it with him, and he's telling us where's best for him, and we're trying to come to a compromise.
For Dimitri, King's Cross has been a regular haunt.
It's like my spiritual home for busking. All the way through my teenage years, I was just like, whenever I needed money, down I came here, and they always looked after me. London always looks after me. Oh, thank you. I was able to take out many a girl, and I was ever so grateful. And then I sort of went travelling and then came back, ended up a student and did my entire practice for my final recital down here. So I played Prokofiev Violin Concerto number 2 down here.
The impact test has been a success and 3 sites for busking have been chosen. Martin will now begin the long process of having pitches approved by health and safety groups. John has left his lonely pitch at Westminster and is finding Bond Street more lucrative. Stephen successfully repaired his didgeridoo and is attracting quite a crowd. He's even being broadcast across the airwaves.
And when I came down the stairs here, and I could hear the rhythm of this guy playing, I thought, my God, you know, this isn't just somebody playing a didgeridoo, this is somebody playing a didgeridoo. And I had to stop and listen to it. Pleasure to meet you.
And you.
Really.
Take care.
Brilliant.
Have a good day.
Yeah. I mean, you've made my day. You know, I'm coming down here to catch a train. You know, I'm supposed to be at home by now, and I heard this, and I couldn't not listen to it. Absolutely first class stuff.
Thank you very much. I hope your dinner's not in the dog.
Eh?
I hope your dinner's not in the dog.
Standing at your... No, really. Well, I've got to put something in your box. I'll tell you what, whatever's in my pocket you get. There you go. It's your lucky day.
Thank you very much. Cracking. Wow. Thank you very much. Much appreciated.
Stephen's had a good night and it's time to head home.
How much money do you think you played today?
I don't know, it's quite heavy. I reckon about... I don't know, 50 quid maybe? That generous donation of the bloke, you know? Extra 6 quid he chucked it. Oh, maybe £50.
John's also packing away. He's exceeded his target of £11.
I've got a whole load of these 1p coins at home, and I put them in a pile. And once I've got a pound up, put them in a plastic bag, take them to the bank. It all adds up. All the 1p's and the 2p's and the 5p's. Get a few pounds a week out of that.
The future seems bright for John and the other 285 licensed buskers. The trial has gone well, and sponsorship of the scheme looks set to continue with expansion of the project to more stations. Whether there'll be enough buskers and the quality of music can be maintained remains to be seen. But for the moment, Tube customers will have no shortage of sounds on the underground.
But square cut or pear shape, these rocks won't lose their shape. Diamond